And in the last couple of years, you and I talked about that, Marie. We had our ups and downs in the energies has been very intense.
Very intense.
So,
Yeah.
so many lessons as you just keep learning, keep learning, keep
Yeah.
learning, keep learning.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I don't know. That's
Yeah.
kind of the short version of
Yeah.
how I got to where I am today.
Thank you so much. You said so many things. It's like there's so many nuggets in there. I'm thinking. So, for example, the beauty of being able to looking back at your journey, right? Because when you're inside of it, your ego is like, okay, so now what? Like I did this, and why isn't anything happening, right? But then we look back and we say, oh wow, and then that person came into my life, like you mentioned, right? Your podcast colleague, and then this course popped into my life, and then I was able to do this, and it's like slowly but surely you're moving along on your journey, and it's just absolutely beautiful, right? It's just so, I think if anyone's listening who's like feeling that, right? What's happening next? It's so nice to hear someone like you describe that part of their journey. Because when
Yeah,
you're in the middle of it, it sometimes feel like, well, first of all, you're confused. Like what's actually happening to me, maybe, right? You need to go in a certain direction, but there's also the confusion. Like there's the push-pull between the ego and the, where you need to go.
mm,
And then there's also like you were describing the ups and downs, and
yeah,
so it becomes like super intense, like, oh, all these shadows are coming up, and it's painful, right? And
yes,
so you're confused, and you also receive pain, which means that you're just like, oh, what, this is not how it's supposed to feel like, right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
So I thank you for describing that, because then it's relatable, and it's just so beautiful. Yeah.
Yes. And
Yeah.
that's been one of my exactly what you're talking about there, Marie, is
Yeah.
one of my biggest lessons because I mean we're so drilled in this society
Yeah.
to reach our goals and you're supposed to get there
Yeah.
and yeah we visualize and we have X amount of clients every day and
Yeah.
then we have this and then you get there and and so a big part of my journey has been to lean back. Of course I have a vision, but to
Yeah.
let that vision just to release it to the universe and not force it because I was really good at forcing before.
Yes.
Oh, how am I going to do that? How am I
Yeah.
going to get my clients? How am I going to be out?
Yeah.
There's so much stress, and
Yeah.
I just see now that it's just obstructing the flow, the
Yeah.
beautiful plan that is already.
Absolutely.
So to quiet my ego has been a big part of my journey
Hmm.
to just tell it to take the back seat and everything's going to happen in divine timing. If it hasn't happened yet, I'm not ready for it.
Yeah.
If it
Totally.
hasn't happened, there's something else that needs to happen before
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
You have to have this lesson to take you to the next level. Like for instance, I was talking about the HR assignments and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And I went to one of these QHHT reunions. It was beautiful. It was in Ibiza. Met all these wonderful people, and they were all living on the QHHT and healing and stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna do that too.
Yeah.
So I said bye bye to my assignment, and I jumped in, and
Yeah.
the universe is gonna support me.
Yeah.
And what happened was, everything went quiet,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, what happens now?
Yeah.
And I realized afterwards that there was so many lessons in this that I had to
Hmm.
pick up.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like for one, your worth isn't connected to what you do,
Mm.
and it's one thing saying it because I knew that, and I've been saying that on our podcast a
Of course
million
you have.
times.
Of course
Of
you have.
course I had. I've been talking about
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
then when you're there in it, it's
Yeah.
like, oh my God, nobody look at me. And so that got really clear that I still had
Yeah.
something to heal there.
Yeah.
You know, that
Sure.
my worth isn't, likes or how many
Yeah.
views is not connected to that or
Yeah.
clients at all.
Mm-hmm.
So that became really clear. I
Mm-hmm.
had to heal that. The relationship with money,
Mm-hmm.
same. I've been, I always had money, enough money in my life, spend, no problem. And then all of a sudden, when it goes quiet and you have no money coming in, it's like, okay, what do
Mm-hmm.
I do now?
Yeah.
So then I had to unveil that, that I've been taking money for granted. I was just like, yeah, I always have money, I spend here and there, and. So
Mm-hmm.
I started a more respectful
Mm.
relationship with money to thank it when it comes in and to see it. It's just energy, but not to step out of this needing, I need money.
Yes.
And therefore the universe had to bring me down to zero in my accounts. And I was like, yeah, thank you.
I guess.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. Yeah, 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 this is great. But of course I've been tearing my hair out,
Of course.
some days, but when you get to a certain stage, it's just like that there is a lesson in everything. And
Mm.
that's what I see in my QHHT lessons, in my QHHT sessions, of course, when I speak
Sure.
to my clients. The higher self always said,
Mm.
this is a lesson, this happened
Mm-hmm.
because of this,
Mm-hmm.
you wanted this to grow, blah, blah. So I know that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
when you also can, then you can take down the tension a little bit and just. So I've been working a lot with my mindset to
Mm.
not let the ego again create all kinds of
Of course.
scenarios for,
Yeah.
what if,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
if you just, tweak your mindset a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
I have a house in Spain. Most people would say that that's quite a lot of abundance.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we have 4 cars at the moment.
Yeah.
Not nice cars, but there's one for the 18-year-old, one for the 15-year-old, one for this. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
it's so much abundance. It's like
Yes.
air. I live by the lake. I
Mm-hmm.
have so many friends. I mean, so it's just a matter of mindset, how you
Of
view things.
course. Of course.